Hello, gorgeous ones. How are you? Back in my little happy place. Just after 8 a.m. in Melbourne. God knows what time it is where you are. But this week, well, it's now Wednesday and I've really just randomly come up with ideas. But I thought I'd give you a couple of tips on things that I'm doing as part of a bit of a reset. Now, as you know, my old life used to be this. Diet, perfect, restrictive, losing weight, yes. Oh, bender, eating everything in sight, didn't care, hiding, eating whatever I wanted. And lurching through, morning Andrea, lurching through life, Jane, hello, from one side of the road to the other. So, perfect or on a bender. Now I've got middle of the road. But even with middle of the road, what happens now is that I'll just notice that I might be veering off. And rather than wait till I've run all the way over here and hit the side rails and come crashing through, I can now bring myself back. And there's a couple of tips that I'm using for that. So, normally I'm not a tracker. I don't like counting things. That's very diety. But what I'm doing now is I am actually doing just a short, brief interval period of it. And it's really just because the dreaded nuts in my life just became something that found their way into my mouth very, very often. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just eating these probably subconsciously and certainly without any acknowledgement that they're entering my body. So I thought, okay, for maybe a week, okay, I don't have to do it forever, maybe a week, I'm just going to track my food. Now, I don't count religiously what's going on, but what I did do, just so I know, I weighed a handful of the nuts and thought, right, that's 45 grams or whatever it was, 48, who cares? Okay, so 5 of those a day is 200 grams of nuts. That's just not on. But that's probably what was happening kind of before Christmas till after Christmas. So not out of control eating, 50 Lindor balls a day and all the other things, but certainly not where I want to be. So tracking. As part of that tracking, I'm actually checking my blood glucose again because remember, I was pre-diabetic. I have type 2 diabetes in my family. I'm insulin resistant. I am at risk of type 2 diabetes and I really just want to get on top of that. So I'm doing currently morning and afternoon blood sugars and then just for my own little benefit, morning and afternoon ketone measure. And I must say, yesterday, ketones 1.9, hooray. Day before, which is when I started tracking, 0.5. Now remember, if ketones aren't the be all and end all, and I'm a good ketone producer. So for me, they're a marker of me being on track. And what we want to do with accountability, okay, everyone loves accountability and we have accountability teams, etc. in our membership. But what we really want to do at the end of the day is learn to become accountable to ourselves because, we live with ourselves. We go everywhere with ourselves. We are portable. And when we do things like hide, and again, we don't love the scales. They're not a great measure. But, if the scales are your thing and suddenly you don't want to get on them because you're a bit fearful, then what you're doing is hiding and the person that you're hiding from is you. So we want to really learn how to become accountable to ourselves. And so doing simple little things like this as a mini reset. Remember, we're in life, what we're trying to do is avoid the old way of the all or nothing. All or nothing. Perfect or on a bender. Middle of the road, oh, I'm veering this way. Middle of the road, oh, I'm veering this way, towards perfectionism. Do I need to be that? Perfectionism starts when you start to feel guilty because you've had, an extra bit of cheese. That's not helpful. So we can go middle of the road. Middle of the road is not moderation of all things. That's a separate topic. I'll talk about that maybe in a couple of weeks. Maybe I'll write a blog, who knows. I am writing a blog this morning for tomorrow, so I've got to get my skates on permanent weight loss is more than a meal plan, because we all know that. But I'll just articulate the reasons why I believe that. And other than that, my lovelies, what I would really love, hopefully you've had a chance to listen to yesterday's episode on our podcast, Real Health and Weight Loss. If you haven't checked out the episode or the podcast, you can Google it. It's called the Real Health and Weight Loss Podcast. And What we would love, 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 like with all our hearts, is if you could leave us a review. Stars are good, but if you could write something, it's even better. And what it does is it just puts us up the rankings and helps us get the message out there, which is what we all want. And you can now do it on Spotify. Lyndon, gorgeous woman, thank you. And, you know, again, don't beat yourselves up if you've kind of headed towards the cliff. Even if you've gone over the cliff, doesn't matter. Bring yourselves back, because every time something happens, it's just a learning opportunity. That's it. You're not bad. You're not hopeless. You're not a terrible person. Learning opportunity, using a tool that once served you well, that no longer serves you well. Bring yourself back onto the middle of the road and work out what are the things in your life that are helpful. Okay, nuts for me are not that helpful. Baked goods with sugars and stuff like that, or not sugars, you know, alternate sweeteners, not that helpful. Okay, I have trouble moderating. Not everyone does. I do, and I know myself well. All right, lovelies. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye, darlings.